If you are a black person who lives in America, you are not an African American. As a matter of fact, you've never been an African. They have lied to you. That is not your identity. Nobody in your family comes from Africa. How do you know? All you have to do is ask them. Ask your grandma this. Grandma, did great-grandma, did she come from Africa? And your grandma gonna look at you. What do you mean, did great-grandma come from Africa? What are you talking about? Where are you getting this from? Well, in school, we was going over the lesson, and we was reading in his history book. And inside of the history book, it said that they was grabbing people from Africa, just snatching them up. And the people, they didn't really do anything about it. Nobody protected them. The men were just over there just looking. And these people, I don't know if they were adults or babies, but we saw the images of them on ships. They were like this. They had the hands chained. They were chained by the legs. They were chained by their legs. And these people were brought to America as slaves. Grandma, could we call great-grandma? Well, she's not alive anymore, but could we ask somebody in our family we were slaves? And in all cases, your grandma would say, no, they made that. She would say they made that shit up. Nobody in our family's from Africa. The only way to learn your exact origin and where you come from is from your direct family members. Now, let me teach you something. The information that we were taught in school has had more leverage over the information or the teachings that was taught by our family. We thought to ourselves that our family was some retards and they were unintelligent. So this is why we didn't believe them, and instead we believed these white teachers. We started believing the schools over our own family. So to replace that, I have a school for you that is going to teach you that you are not an African American. You ain't no goddamn African. You are not from Africa. Nobody in your family's from Africa. You are from right here, this country, and the real name of it is called Tamari. And we are the Tamarikins. That is what our ancestors called themselves. Tamarikins. And I'm going to fix that with my textbook called This Planet Was Stolen from Black People. I'm going to read something for you today. Right here. This is the digital version. We're going to have future classes and we're going to read along. And we're going to have a school system in a school district. And inside of this district, we're going to have 10,000 schools. And every single one of these schools is going to have 500 students each, minimum. Now, it's 10,000 times 500. What are we looking at? Like 5 million? Or is it 500,000? I believe it's 500,000. But if we up that, our goal is to get yeah? I don't know if I had the calculator. But 500,000 to 5 million students. And every single one of them is going to learn that we are Tamarikins. And there's nothing that you can do, America. You can be like, dang, Tassim Dalizi, he's taking over the world. I know I am. So we're going to read this today. You look at this beautiful map. You can see this is a map of Tamari. If you can see, this is what the United States looks like. But it's not called the United States. It's called Tamari, and I'm going to rename it by force. Now we're going to read along. I want you to get your books out. So, it says this. The Kingdom of Tamari. That's where we're from. That's the name of our nation, the Kingdom of Tamari. And it says this. The first kingdom we will go over is the kingdom that I, Tassim Daliza, the author, descend from. That kingdom is called the Kingdom of Tamari. Tamari means the beloved land. That's what it means. Beloved land, the beloved. That's who we are. That's why everybody loves us. They're like, oh my goodness, Tamarikins. Well, they've been tricked into believing that we're Black Americans or African Americans, but we are beloved by everybody on the planet. All of our Africans, they're like, man, we love those black Americans. They are our brothers. And we are. We are the same race. The Anunnaki race. We have all been taught that we are humans. They taught us that we were black humans and they're white humans. Ain't no such thing as a goddamn black human. There's only such thing as white humans. And the black people are the Anunnaki. But let's go back to this. The beloved land. We are from the kingdom of Temeri. The beloved land. Like I said, everybody loves us. We're that magnificent. We sing amazing. Women are very, very beautiful. Our hair is long, including mine. The men, we walk around with long hair. It makes us feel masculine. We feel like a man when we got some long hair. Yeah, get you some long hair. It's going to make you feel like a man. But it says this. Temeri and its citizens were known as Tamericans. That's spelled Tamericans. That is our nationality, Tamericans. I have a specific strategy that I'm going to be sharing with you later in the video on how we establish our nationality once again. We're going to have embassies. And we're going to have many more things, but let's get to this. Tamericans. That's who we are. You're not an African American. Nothing about you is African. You've never been to Africa. Nobody in your family's been to Africa. Nobody's from Africa. You are from Temeri and exclusively Temeri. That's it. No, those people who walk around living in teepees what do they have? Little straw houses, stick houses, filthy animals. They're not from Temeri. They are from the caves. They're not from Temeri. They have not been here for 20,000 years. They have lied. The only people who have been here for 20,000 years is the Tamericans, which is us. If you got this skin color like me, you see what I'm saying? You walk around with some brown skin. You walk around with some brown skin. We also have bigger heads than them. We would wonder, why do we have a larger skull? The specific reason is because you have to house a brain that is bigger than the size of a peanut. And that's why their heads are so small. Their foreheads is like this. It's going in. We wonder, you're looking at these cavemen and cave women. We wonder, why is your head shaped like that? It looks like a... You just look at it like, why does your head shape like this? That's because there's no brain in there. There's no intelligence. So it's just housing nothing. Do you really want to be like that? Be like these cavemen? Nothing? I doubt that. I don't think you do. Imagine you're born. We don't go back to the book, but imagine you're born. And you walk around and you're in the caves and you like this. Let me show you. You like this. This is how you speak. You speak. Ooga, 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 booga, ooga, booga. Ooga, booga? Type of shit is that? That's your Native Americans. That's the language that they speak. Ooga, booga language. And that's why their head's so tiny. Especially if they're women. Just little tiny head. And we walking around like, man, I wish my head was smaller so it could be like theirs. No. You don't want your head to be small like theirs. They have no intelligence and no brain. This is why they have no books. Because they're stupid. Yeah. But let's go back to this book. We are the Tamericans. That's our nationality. We are not Africans. We are Tamericans. And it says this. All Tamericans are Anunnaki. All Tamericans are Anunnaki. Anunnaki means the beings with brown skin. If you got brown skin like me, you have an afro, you got some locks, you are a Anunnaki. That's who you are. So every single Tamerican that lived in Temeri is a Anunnaki. That means that you do not descend from the caves. You don't come from the caves. That's where they come from. Filthy animals. Disgusting. That's where they're from. This is why they eat the food they grab the food and they know nothing. It's just blood and guts. That's what they eat. And they're wondering, like, how come black people don't eat like us? Ain't nobody want to eat like you. You're a caveman. So, it says it's all Tamaricans are Anunnaki. That is our species. The Anunnaki species. We are not the human species. It says there was a war that happened against the Tamaricans. There was a war that happened against us. And we have forgotten about it. Because they have replaced the war with the African slave trade story. And for the new generations, because they taught us this when we were children, we have believed it. And I have to change up the story. We are not African slaves. None of us are African descendants. None of us have been from Africa or to Africa. All you have to do is ask your grandmother. Look, Grandma, you from Africa? No, I'm not from Africa. All right, I'm not from Africa. There it is. That's it. That's it. It's that simple. It's not hard. There was a war that happened against the Tamaricans. Or in Tamari. And this war was against the Pleiadians and the humans. Those are two different species. The Pleiadians come from the Pleiades star system. This is what Donald Trump is. So a Pleiadian is a being that walks around with some orange skin. If you have orange skin, you're a Pleiadian. You are my enemy. And the humans. We're not humans, like I said, we are Anunnaki. That's our race. You got some brown skin, you're Anunnaki. It's that easy. Brown skin, Anunnaki. You got some locks, afro, Anunnaki. That's it. Now, if you walking around with pink skin or peach skin, then you are a human. That goes for your Asians, Chinese, Filipino, Korean, South Korean, Vietnamese, Cambodian. All of these people with peach or pink skin. Straight hair like a dog. It's straight. Anybody want to... Straight hair. It looks like a dog, a Labrador. Pull it down. The same thing. German Shepherd gets lice. That's what the humans get. So a human is a being that gets lice. Naturally. They don't got to do nothing. They just walk around outside. They can be inside the whole day. I'll give you an example. When I was in the 7th grade, I remember going to my math class every day. And I had a teacher. This was a pre-algebra class. And in this class, there was a Jewish girl. Jewish! Sitting next to me. And I remember going into the class this day. I go into class, I sit down, put my... We call it backpacks in California. In Georgia, they call it book bags. So we put our backpacks down in the back of the chair, or we put it on the ground. I get my book from under my desk. Boom. Well, in that case, I got it from out of my backpack. Put it on a table. And I remember this girl, she coming into the classroom. White girl, Jewish. And she sat next to me. And I'm working, I'm concentrating, I'm focusing on what my teacher's saying. I'm looking at her. And I started smelling something. I'm over here. I'm smelling. I'm like, what's that smell? It smell like a dog. No goddamn dog up in here. I'm over here. I'm looking around like, oh, what's going on? It's not making any sense. I don't see any dogs. And I'm just... And I start leaning over to her. But I don't want to make it noticeable. Oh, oh, that's her. She smells like a dog. That's the humans. She's white. That's what she smells like. A dog. And not just a dog, but she starts smelling like metal pipes. I'm like, how do you smell like metal pipes? This doesn't make any sense. Do you not take baths? I'm asking questions. So I asked her, I'm like, look, don't remember her name, but let's say her name was Sam. I believe it might have been Sam. Sam, what's going on? Why do you smell like that? And she looked at me, Tassim, what do you mean? I don't smell like anything. Smell myself? Nah, I took a bath. You know, she lying. You ain't take no goddamn bath. She's lying. But that's what she smells like. A dog. And what I'm here to say is that's what they all smell like. Without exception, they smell like dogs. How do you know? Grab you a cup of water. Go into the sink. Let's say you go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom, get you a cup of water. It don't have to be fresh water. It could be tap water. It could be in a red plastic cup. You know the red plastic cups that we had? Put it in a red plastic cup. Turn on the faucet. Put it in there. Fill the cup up with cold water. Turn the faucet off. Go walk outside. See if you go find any humans. Go find some Mexicans, white people. Doesn't matter. They all smell the same. So you take this cup. Let's say you see a Mexican. Pour it on them. Right? Splash it on them. And after 5 minutes, they're like, hey, what did you do that for? I didn't do anything. Let's say you just take off running. Take off running. Come back 5 minutes later. And then just start smelling. Just smell the area. Start smelling the area. You're wondering, hold on. It do smell like a dog. I think Tassim was right. I know I was right. That's what they smell like. So like the textbook says, the war was against the Pleiadians and the humans. Like I said, if you got orange skin like Donald Trump, you are a Pleiadian. And if you got peach skin or pink skin, you are a human. That goes for the Asians. Like I said, I talked about the Asians. That goes for the Caucasians too. Like Sam over there, Jewish. That's what she smelled like, a dog. Goes for the Mexicans. Same thing. They look the same. Don't matter if you come from Mexico. They're not even from Mexico. They're from the caves. Just like the teepee people. They are descendants of the teepees. So the war was against us and them. And the war has not ended. It's still going on. I think, hold on. Let me go blow. I don't know what I got up in my nose. Let me go blow my nose. Be right back. Let's see. Something in my nose. Yes, we have made it back. So continue this. It says this in the next part of the book. Sadly, we lost this war. And yes, we did. And that's why our country was taken over completely. Our kingdom, called the Kingdom of Tamaris, it was taken over completely. This is why, and we just got to be honest with ourselves. The whites have now controlled our land, and it's not just them. The Mexicans control our land, the Native Americans, the Chinese, the Arabs, they control our kingdom. The war is us against them. And after the war, our kingdom was overthrown. And they killed our king. That's what they did. They killed the ruler and the king of our kingdom. Slaughtered him. And in every... We had a king on the east. By Florida. We had many kings. And they killed them. There was kings in Florida. There was a king in Mississippi. There was a king in Chicago. And there was a queen in California. They killed them all. And what we're going to have to do is whatever they did to us, we are going to have to do to them. I don't want to get censored, but we could say that we will have to neutralize them. Neutralize them all. Every single one of them is going to be neutralized. I'm going to neutralize them. I'm going to have my whole military. Give me my equipment and my armor. And I'm going to be neutralizing them. I don't give a damn how long ago it was. It could have been 1,000 years ago. But because I have now discovered the truth, I'm going to neutralize you and your descendants. Not every single black person is a pacifist, because I'm not. I don't turn the other cheek, and I don't think that you should turn the other cheek. Follow me. We're not going to turn the other cheek. They took over our kingdom. They want us to be depressed. They want us to be victims and depressed and walking around low self-esteem, no confidence. Walking around like, oh my, what's going on? They killed me. Please. And we going looking at the clouds and praying to God. And I've already been in the clouds 1,000 times and I ain't see God up there. He wasn't there. I looked in the clouds. I'm like, where's God? How could you allow this? That's because God is us. The black race, the Anunnaki race, is God. That means that we are the creators of the multiverse. And that's what makes us God. This textbook is going to teach you that. That we are the creators. And every single species that we created, we gave them free will. We gave them the ability to think. And it just so happens that the species that we created teamed up against us. So we're going to continue. We're going to neutralize them all. It has to happen. No other way. It says this. After they killed our king, Tamari was then renamed. And it was renamed to the United States of America. And that's why the United States of America is a name that you see on all the maps. You see it on Google Maps. You look up Google Maps, you're going to see United States of America. That's because that's what they did after they took over. I have solutions in plan of having our own navigational system. And when you open up that map, you're going to see Tamari. That's what you're going to see. The home of the Tamarikans. That's us. That's what you're going to see in our GPS system. It'll be on your phone. You're just that easy. You open it up. Boom. Tamari Maps. Anunnaki Maps. You're going to see whatever name we come up with. You're going to see it and it's going to say Tamari on the big old screen. And you're like, wow. My people really took our home back. Yes, we did. And with that, I'm going to be leading the entire military. I will be your commander-in-chief, your king, so we can make it all happen. So the last sentence in this page, it says this. Today, we Tamarikans. Oh my goodness, my voice. Today, we Tamarikans must finish the war and take Tamari back. That's why we are here. All of my black people, you are Tamarikans if you live in America. You are a Tamarikan if you live in Tamari. And because you are a descendant of your ancestors, your duty and responsibility is to take Tamari back. And I'm going to break it to you. The way that we take Tamari back is by neutralizing the people who do not belong here. That's our job. That's what we have to do. Now, every single page in this textbook has questions. They have multiple choice questions. And also it has a section that you will fill out. It has a line with a section that it'll be a written down answer. That'll be required. But in question number 1, it says this. Which kingdom does the author Tassim Daliza descend from? Which kingdom? Is it A, the kingdom of Congo? Is it B, the kingdom of Tamari? Is it C, the United Kingdom? Or is it D, the United States? It's right here. Right here. Boom. Like I said, we have our own textbooks. We're going to have our own standardized tests. And all the children, every single child is going to be taking this test. It'll be a requirement. This is how you'll pass in our school. The answer is B, the kingdom of Tamari. That's where I, Tassim Daliza, descend from. Question number 2. What were the citizens of Tamari called or known as? What were we called? What did we call ourselves? What was our nationality? What was our name? Of all of the people who lived in Tamari, what was their name? We have A, is it the Black Americans? Is it B, the Sumerians? Is it C, the Tartarians? Oh, is it C, my mistake, C, the Tamaricans? Or is it D, the blacks? Like 2 seconds. The answer is C, the Tamaricans. That's what we called ourselves. That's who we are, Tamaricans. That's your nationality. You're not an African. Even the Africans know that you're not from Africa. I spent the past 2 months in Africa. I was in South Africa. I was also in it's called Tanzania, but our people call it Tanzania. I was over there. I had a house. I had a cook. She was amazing. Big old house. And over there, as soon as I got there, they were like, hold on. They looked at me just for 1 second. They were like, oh, Americano. I'm like, hold on, what you mean, Americano? How did they know? I'm just walking around. I had some moccasins on. I had some, what are they? Casual shoes. I had some casual shoes that I was wearing. Little casual shoes. And I'm just walking around. You know, never been there. Hopped off the plane, I'm walking around. Go to the airport. Come out the airport. I see the Tanzanians. They're looking at me like, oh, what's going on? My brother! And the first thing that they started asking me was, American brother! This is what they did. American brother, let me get some money. Like, what do you mean, money? How you know I'm from America? I didn't even say anything. I'm just walking around. My brother, I know you're American. Look at your face. You're American. Your hair. American. You know, because over here we was taught, you walk skin, African slave. Hey, y'all. This man is a slave from Africa. That's what they teach us. And we walk around like, dang, my ancestors was really some punks. That were some slaves. But how come everybody else know that you're not an African? That's because they took over your kingdom and they renamed you. And now Tassim Deliza has to rename you back to Tamarican. That's what I'll do. So we'll go back. Question number 3. What was Tamari renamed to after the war? Is it A, Tamari was renamed to Indian Territory? Is it B, Tamari was renamed to Mauritania? Is it C, Tamari was renamed to Morocco? Or is it D, Tamari was renamed to the United States of America? I think you know that answer. It's not hard. It's D. Tamari was renamed to the United States of America. It's in the text. It's simple. This textbook has many pages, sections, and chapters. And I'll show you a chapter that you would love to see. What you see right here, you'll see a castle. Isn't that beautiful? A castle. You might have never known, but yes, Tamari, we had castles. And this is one of the small castles. The small one. It's a small castle. The kingdom of Tamari had castles. This one is in Ohio. We had castles everywhere. Like I said, it's a kingdom. So we had castles, walking around in the castle. I'm a king. I got the servants, the butlers, the maids. I had everything. We had the guards, security. And we also had guns. We didn't have bow and arrow. That's ridiculous. I ain't walking around. Whoop. See, pull it back. No, we didn't have that. We had... You could grab it. Do. We had automatic. Do. We were more advanced than what we are now. And if you're wondering, well, if we had all of that, then how come we got conquered? Let me tell you. Number one, when you're talking to Anunnaki, that's our race. When you're talking to other Anunnaki, and let's say they have not been corrupted, their minds have not been tainted with, they don't lie. When they tell you that they're going to do something, they do it. And if they did something, they tell you that they did it. So we didn't lie to each other. That is brand new. We always told each other the truth. That is our natural way. And I know for many of you, if you're ever telling a lie, you would feel like, whoa, what's going on in my body? Why do I feel like this? What's going on in my emotional system? The reason is oh my goodness. The reason is because it is not natural for you to lie. It is actually against your entire essence. So when we invited these humans onto our land, well, we didn't invite them, first of all. When we accepted them onto our land, because they just showed up in the caves. Previous to that, they were on their home planet. They were on their home planet. The home planet. This is why, like I said, they speak an Ooga Booga languages like an ape. They come from another planet. This planet is located in the... Just look at it. Look at my fingers. The Plutonian galaxy. And you and I, we all know this. That this planet is not located in the Plutonian galaxy. It's located in the Milky Way. In the... You know, the whites, Chinese, Mexicans, they come from the Plutonian galaxy. Not the Milky Way. The Plutonian. They came over here. If you live on a planet, and if you're natural to a planet, you would be able to live and survive without needing anything. This is why when I walk outside and in the sun, I feel good because it energizes my body. But for them, when they walk out to the sun, they start to sizzle up. Start getting blisters on their skin. You know what I'm talking about? Blisters. Boy, big old boils. You pop it through. It's going to have some stuff coming out of it. That's what they get. And if you're wondering, like, how do they get that and how come we don't? The answer is because we're two different species. So that's why they're walking around getting sun poisoning and sun cancer and skin cancer and all this stuff. It's because they're not from here. They come from another planet. So that is the real answer to the teepee people walking around in teepees and bow and arrows, like peasants with no shoes, walking around with leaves on their body, just little leaf. Who finna walk around with some leaves around their crotch? Who's about to walk around with some leaves? Not me. Not me. That's what they did. So just the answer is they do come from another planet. And when they did arrive on this planet, we saw them in the caves. And when we looked over there, we looked at the caves and we wondering, what the hell is that over there? I've never seen that before. I've never seen any being on this planet with straight hair. We walking up to him and we just looking at him like. So we went over there into the cave. And we see these filthy animals. And they're just dirty. Skin dirty. Face dirty. Teeth have not been brushed. Walking around with sharp teeth. Sharp teeth. That's how they're walking around. Teeth. You know the teeth that... You know the turtle snapping turtle teeth. That's what they had. Dinosaur teeth. You know the T-Rex that they showed us? You know the dinosaurs don't exist, but follow me. T-Rex teeth. Walking around biting stuff. You see this? That's what they're doing in the caves. Just eating rocks. Just testing it. Filthy animals. And we walked up to them, looked at them, and we said, "Who are you?" And that's when they stopped. They stopped buying the rock. They had the rock. They had the rock at first. That's what they're doing. The humans. This is what the Mexicans do. Buying rocks. So we walked into them. Who are you and who sent you? They stopped and they looked up because they didn't stand up like this. They had the hands on the ground. They had the legs on the ground, so they were walking on all fours. They look up. And they say, "Ooga, ooga, 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 booga, booga." What the hell? Ooga, booga, booga. You don't speak no goddamn English? What's going on? And then a Pleiadian comes out from the shadows. Like I said, the beings with orange skin, Donald Trump. One of their commanders came out of the shadows and he said, No. These beings are creations of one of your brothers. Like, what do you mean? These are creations of one of your brothers. Remember I told you that Anunnaki, we created all the species? So they said, yeah, these are the creations of one of your brothers. He actually created them in a laboratory. And we thinking, hold on. And we had an idea at first. Hold on, I know that my man was working on it, but I don't know if that was him because it's been years since we seen him. And the Pleiadians, they said, yeah, your brother Zeus. And we thinking like, Zeus? Yeah. Zeus created them out of animals. And we just knew that. Hold up, this not even making any sense. What you mean? These are Zeus's creation? And the Pleiadians say yes. We were tasked to watch them and take care of them. And we're asking you, Anunnaki, if you can just allow them to stay on your planet. Just for a little bit. So we said, we had to look into this. We sent our spies around the universe and, that's what we're doing. It didn't make any sense. What do you mean? These are Zeus's creations. Yes, one of your black people created the Mexicans, the Asians, and the whites inside of a laboratory. They're not the same species as us. We're not the same. We've never been the same. That's why your hair is straight. Straight like a dog. That's why you smell like a dog, like Sam. Like I said, Sam was in the classroom smelling like a dog. You smell the same as her. That's your race. We don't smell like, black people, we don't smell like dogs. We are the Anunnaki race. That's why. We didn't walk around saying ooga booga. That's what you said. That's who you are. So we watched over the humans. We had a group of our Anunnaki, and they watched over the humans. These Anunnaki lived in Spain. They lived in Spain, Italy, France. They lived in the United Kingdom, but at the time it was called Great Britain. They lived in Scotland, Ireland, Finland. This is where they're living at. And they said, okay, Anunnaki. We had the Tamaricans over here, and then we had the Italians. These Italians were black. They were over there, and we said, okay, look, you guys are going to watch over the humans. And we noticed that every single one of them has tails. What I'm going to need you to do, and this is what I told them directly, what I need you to do is I'm going to need you to remove the tails. Because if they're going to stay on our planet just for a little bit, we're going to need them to be a little bit civilized. So the Anunnaki, they said, okay, sire, we will civilize them. So this is where the Anunnaki, they went into the laboratory, they're looking at the humans, and they put them inside of this glass tank. Glass tank. They hooked them up to some tubes. Tube in their mouth, tube in their head, tube in their backs. Right there. You know where it's going. Tubes. Tubes everywhere. They had the computers pulled up. But we had advanced computers. And they're inputting data. Okay, these are the humans. Okay, they come from the Plutonian galaxy. Okay, they come from planet Nern. That's where they were created at. Okay, that is located in the sixth universe. Okay, and they're just writing it all down. Just writing it down. And they said, oh, we have a way. So they can have their tails removed. And also, we have a way for all of that fur to be removed off of their body. This is why they're much more hairier than us. They walk around with chest hair and back hair. It's ridiculous. I don't have any chest hair. I don't want to have chest hair. That's for cavemen. That's what it's for, filthy animals. Walk around, back hair. Hair coming out the back. That's what they have. Disgusting. We don't want to have that. Back hair. My woman does not want that. So yeah, we don't have back hair. That's what they have. So they said we have a way for the back hair to be removed. And after they came up with the experiment, this is where they went into the human's body. They had it was a little knife, a little tool. Stuck it in their back, inserted it, cut it around, move the tail. And then they stitched it up. They stitched it up the back. They knew many of them were going to have scars. Boom. Okay. And after that, they went into the database and they went into their genetics and they said, okay, we have a way so we can manipulate. So the offsprings do not have tails. A couple of them ran away. Like, look, we're not going through this. My man just cut his tail off. That's crazy. But they're not speaking English. They're speaking ooga booga. It's like, ooga ooga. And they're looking at him, tail, huh? And they ran away. That's what they did. And they called me on the phone. King Tassim, we have a way for their tails to be removed so they can be civilized. And I said, okay, I'll be on the next flight. At this time, we had airships traveling all over the planet. We didn't need gasoline. We had energy and electricity. And I went over there and I saw the first experiment. So the humans, they could stop growing tails. Like I said, the humans are your whites, Asians, the Chinese, Filipino. Doesn't matter. That's them. Humans. We're not. We're Anunnaki. And then we saw it. So this all goes back to the people that are called Native Americans. It's a false title anyways. They're not from Tamari. They have not lived on our planet for no 10,000 years. They have not. I have it in my textbook on day, I believe it's day 9. No, it's day 6. Let me see. Oh, no, it's on day 3. Section number 3, or day 3 in the book. You will see the humans came onto our planet from their home planet called Nern in the year of 1492. So if we just do the math, that's 523 years, 523 years that they've been here. Does that sound like it's been 1,000? No, so it means that they're lying. The whole planet is just nothing but Anunnaki. And they changed the name. It was Planet Key. And I'm going to change it back. So, with this all being said, you are not an African. You've never been. Nobody in your family comes from Africa. Nobody comes from Africa except for the Africans. And that's it. Just them. They are the Anunnaki who lived in that region. So when you have your black people, your Anunnaki, when you have them coming from the Americas, they are from the Americas and they always have been here. When we created this planet together, they settled over there. And the Africans, they settled on their continent. The Europeans, the black Anunnaki, the black Europeans, they settled over there in Scotland, Ireland, France, Italy, Spain. That is their region. That's where they come from. And then we had the Australians who were black. They settled over there in it's called Oceania. Well, now it is. But they settled over there. And I break it down in the book that we are the creators of this planet called Planet Key. And our true origin story, it's in the book. Our true origin story is at one time there was no planet. It was just an empty void. There was no planet. So a couple of us, we came over here and we said, okay, right here in this location, we are going to create another planet. So we flew to this part of the universe and we said, okay, this is right here. And we brought in the waters. First thing that we brought in was the waters. Then we brought in the land. And then we encompassed it. There was different levels onto the planet. 9 different levels. And we said, this is a great day. That we have now established our second headquarters. And we are going to name it Planet Key. It'll be the second home of the Anunnaki race. And that's what we did. All of us celebrated. Woo! We did it, y'all! We created Planet Key! When we celebrated, we had a feast, a festival, carnival. And 144,000 of us came over here, all Anunnaki. And we said, okay, we're going to now choose locations. You choose a spot, you choose a spot, you choose a spot. And us over here, the Tamaricans, we said, okay, we're going to go over there. And we flew down and we called this landmass Tamari. And then for our brothers over there in Europe, they said, okay, we're going to go over there. So they flew down and they went over there and they said, okay, this is now Great Britain. And they created Scotland, London. They created these beautiful places. It was amazing. That's what we did. And then we had the Africans. They said, okay, my brother, we're going down there. We're going over there onto that continent. They went over there, went down, and they called it Ethiopia, not Africa. And that's where they settled over there. And they said, we are going to create our kingdoms. This is our second headquarters. And all of us are going to come together in times of need. This planet that we're creating is another way that we watch over the universe. And it was so. And all of us created our kingdoms. We are the Anunnaki from Temeri. They are the Anunnaki from over there in Great Britain. And then we had the Anunnaki who came from Ethiopia. And we came together as the Anunnaki who come from Planet Key. And that is our story. So with that being said, my people, you are not an African American. That's not you. You've never been to Africa. You're not from Africa. You're not. So we have to get rid of that nonsense, and I will help you. I'm going to get rid of it for you. I'm going to knock some sense into your head. I'm going to smack you in the whole head so you can know that you're not from Africa. And if you say, but sir, I'm from Africa, I'm going to slap the mess out of you. And we're going to be fighting. I'm serious. You're not an African. You don't think I train to fight, so don't think that you can do anything. I'm not short either. I'm 6'1". I'm going to mess you up. So like I said, you are not an African American. You're not an African American. Your nationality is Tamerican. And for any of the old people who say this, oh, we're an African, we unite with the Africans. Yes, we unite with the African, but we don't have to be African to unite with Africans. Are you slow? Are you retarded? You honestly believe that we have to call ourselves African in order to unite with the Africans? You're a fucking idiot. We're not African, nor do we have to call ourselves that. We are Tamericans. It's because for all of you talking trash, and it's usually the old people, ancient, 55 and up, old. And I'm like, nobody's thinking about you. Really, even the 40-year-olds. And I'm going to just be honest, it's nothing against 40-year-olds, but you had 40 years to get it right. And we're still slaves inside of our own country. What the hell have you been doing for 40 years? Here I come. I'm in my 20s, and I'm doing something greater than you. Usually the reason for that is because I have done this in a previous lifetime and I had to come back so I can, like I said, we have to what? What's the word? We have to neutralize the humans. So I've already neutralized them in my past life. I said, all right, I had to die, came back. All right, look, we're about to neutralize them again. And this time it's going to be done with completely. That's our mission. We got to neutralize them. So by me being on this mission and by us having the one idea that you should be tired of being called an African slave. And if you're tired of being called an African slave, then I need you to get my textbook, Caught This Planet Was Stolen from Black People. I need you to get it. You don't have to do the neutralizing. I'll do it for you. But you will support me by getting our book because the funds that we'll be using, we're going to be creating factories. So I'm going to be honest with you, we have to create factories to neutralize them. So I'm not going to lie to you. That's the purpose of the book. We have to create these factories. We also have to create schools, physical schools, so your children can go to get a proper education. Aren't you tired of them learning from white teachers? Oh, my rubber band. Take it out. Ah. Take it out. But yeah, aren't you tired of your children learning from white teachers? Aren't you tired of that? You should be tired of that. And if you are, I need you to get my book. Because I'm going to be teaching the youth. I will be teaching the next generation. I'll be hiring the teachers so that we can teach our children. And that is why you get this book. If you want change, you invest into me and I need your help. I'm doing this for my people. No one else is going to do this. They're all cowards. Every single Anunnaki is not every single one, but every single one who is not doing this and talking against me is a coward. I'm going to save us. That's why I'm here. I care about us. They brainwashed us all. They brainwashed me. I had to snap out of that. And I did. So I need you to invest in me. You can find my textbook at thisplanetwasstolen.com. It'll be the first link in the description. It'll be at the top. The textbook is literally, in the digital version, it's $9. And the physical, if you want a physical paperback, it's $30. Currently, right now. Only $30 for a textbook. With color and pictures. With some information that's going to change your children. And you will help Tassim Daliza build our country to marry. In this country, we're going to have our own passports. All of your purchases of the book are going to help me build the passport so I can free myself. We have to free ourselves from working a job. So by you getting the book, you'll help me build the passports, identification cards, embassies. Your children will be safe. They'll go to the Tamari embassy. And I'll take care of them. And not just me, it'll be all of us as a collective. We will be the Tamarican people. The only way to come together as a collective is we have to have a leader. And with this leader is a person who works harder than everybody. They're working for 18 hours a day. While you are asleep, they are awake. Working every day. That's something that you don't have to do. That's thanks to your leader. So get the book. This Planet Was Stolen from Black People. It's a textbook. You're supporting Tassim Daliza. This is why you get it. Okay? So with that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. We are the Tamarican people. We are not Africans. We're not. And I have to scream. Many of you like, why is this man screaming? I have to scream. Because if I don't, you will not listen. That's the most effective way in teaching you. I have to scream. We are the Tamarican people. And I appreciate you all for watching. We will have more future lectures. And I will see you all, Tamaritans. I will see you all later.